Hey guys, my mom's friends have not seen her since she's come back from Kenya, so she invited them over and she asked me to help her make a really nice spread. This is everything we had on this spread, and as always, let me show you guys the behind the scenes, how we made everything and how much time it took. As always, I started the night before and mainly with the desserts. The first thing I made was this banoffee pie. Recently, I've been so obsessed with it, and I haven't made anything banana flavored for any of the guests before, so I tried this out and it turned out so good. I already posted the recipe for this, so we're just going to speed through. I layered everything, topped it with the caramel, the chocolate, the biscuits, and then we put that in the fridge and it's ready for the next day. I have a problem with starting all my prep really late in the night, so it was already 11:30 when I started. I started washing up the dishes because we clean as we go along, and then something broke and that just ruined my night. But I just got back with it, cleaned up, and I was done by 11:53 cleaning up. The next thing I make is a simple vanilla cake for the milk cakes. I weigh out 4 to 5 eggs usually. I just want it around the 250 gram mark. And then I weigh out the same amount in butter and sugar, whisk that all together, and then I add in the eggs. Whilst that's whisking, I start melting some butter on the pan. I want to caramelize this, make some brown butter for the brownies. And then I weigh out the same amount in flour, add that in, add some baking powder and some vanilla. I recently found this vanilla sugar and it's so much stronger than vanilla. It tastes so good. Once you see these browned bits of butter, you want to take it off. You don't want it to burn. If you just stop watching this for 1 minute, it can burn and it will taste a little bit bitter. Add the dark chocolate and then let that melt. And then I go back to the vanilla cake, sift in the flour, fold that all in to keep it light and airy. I pour that into a tray that I add some butter and some flour, and then I bake that in the oven. And then I also add the rest of the ingredients to the brownies. I've posted this recipe so many times, so I'm not going to go into too much details. I just add the sugar, the flour, chopped white and milk chocolate. I like a mix, and I sometimes add some dark chocolate as well. Add the flour, cocoa powder, mix that all in, and then add it into your baking tray. This recipe always turns out really chewy and fudgy. I don't really like a cakey brownie. I think you can just have a chocolate cake if you want it that way. I take another break to wash up, and then I take the cakes out. They've cooked at that point. You can't pour the milk into the milk cake unless the cake has completely cooled down. So you want to make sure it's cooled down before you pour in the milk. For the milk mixture, I add in evaporated milk, condensed milk, and milk. Whilst it's cooling down, I took a little break, watched a TV show, and then I came back, poured the milk in, cut up the brownies, and then that was all I was gonna make tonight. It was already 1:20, so I took myself to sleep. The next day, my mom started a little bit earlier than me because she had to start making the rice. And then I woke up and I chose to make milk buns because I wanted to double the recipe. I wanted to use half for the cinnamon roll and half for the meat rolls, and I just felt that milk buns were probably the best recipe for this to work for both of them. I started making the mincemeat, and then I started whipping some double cream for the milk cakes. I wanted to cut them up and put them into these little cupcakes so that it could just be one person per milk cake, and it was just easier for my mom. Let me know if you guys want an in-depth recipe for this milk cake. It turns out perfect every single time. I love it. It's such a simple recipe and it's so good. I went back to the mincemeat, seasoned it up, and then added in the bell peppers and the onions once it was cooked. Added in some coriander because I just wanted a bit of green in there. And then I went to the double cream, added some icing sugar, put that into a piping bag, and then started piping all of that onto the cupcakes. I also don't like adding too much icing sugar into the double cream because I feel like the condensed milk in the cake is already really sweet. I added some fresh fruit on top. I always love the strawberries on it. I don't really like milk cakes that have lotus or pistachio. I think it's really, really sweet. And then I made the fruit tray as always. Just freestyle and make something random. And then I used half of the mint to make this green chili and half the mint for these mango passion fruit mojitos. And then at this point, the dough had doubled in size, so I split it in two, added the mincemeat, rolled them up, and then put that in the oven. And then I also made the cinnamon rolls and put that in to bake at the same time. My sister came and she bought this salad, and my mom's rice was done. It was just steaming. So we went into the living room and started setting up everything. And then my mom's friends started slowly arriving, and they bought some things with them that tasted so good. We fried some spring rolls, some potatoes, and then made some dips as well. And then we had the table set up and the dessert table set up. My mom made her anabraws, of course. I went back into the kitchen because the cinnamon rolls were done. I put this little tray in the middle, and then I filled that in with cream cheese instead of topping it all over the cinnamon rolls because some people don't like it. We plated up the rice, which was so fluffy and amazing. It tasted 10 out of 10. Topped it with those fried onions, some coriander, and that was the spread. Everything turned out so good. Let me know if you guys see anything and you want the recipe for it. This is everything we had. We had some Afghan bread, some stuffed grape leaves, grilled chicken, this aubergine lamb biryani. The aubergine had some yogurt on top of it and some pomegranates, this meat rolls, spring rolls, viazi, tzatziki, salad, water bottles, And then we had the dessert table, which had the milk cakes, cinnamon rolls, fruit tray, and that was everything.